following program is rated MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
This week on the 5-Minute Warning.
If I were to predict who's going to win right now, Trump by a landslide. The 4% that you talked about a month ago, those people, like any human being, will make bad choices to make instability stable. They will pick stable over good decision making every time, because that's who we are as people.
The show that gives you everything and nothing at all. That's everywhere you don't want to be. It's Ruben, Mo B, and on the ones and twos, AG.
The 5-Minute Warning.
Good evening, everyone in the world of the internet. Welcome to another episode of 5-Minute Warning. Of course, as always, it's your man, Ruben here. And of course, with me is AG.
What's happening, y'all? How you doing?
Man. Yo, a boring Sunday has turned into some of the craziest shit ever. We got to jump into it, man. Moby and me is short.
Hey, I'm not doing this all day, so take your pick.
No, I'm not either. Because
Okay.
we got other shit to talk about. That's a little more important than this. But, you know, we're a live show. We talk about shit that's happening. We got to talk about it.
That's true. I will agree to the fact that this happened a few hours ago, so
Yeah.
we should put it down. Joe Biden has officially declared he will not run for re-election.
And you still can't make people happy. The man can't make people happy because now Democrats are just like, what? And I'm thinking to myself, you asked for this for like 2 weeks. And now, what, you didn't think he was going to do it? Like, so you were just talking that shit, basically. And now he did it. Now, oh my God, where do we go from here? Hold on, player. You didn't have a backup plan? Well, Joe Biden has a backup plan. It's called Kamala Harris, which to me just makes sense. However, of course, the other side, the Republican side, as I was just reading, wait a minute. Shit, Mo B's here.
Mo B, what's happening? Yeah.
What's going on, yeah?
Oh, man. So, we decided to just go ahead and jump to this Biden thing because we're not talking about this shit forever. So, you know, basically, like I was saying, the Democrats asked for it and they got it. And now they look like they don't know what the fuck's going on, even though I guess they was just like, well, we're going to say we want him to go, but we don't really want him to go. But we really do want him to go. But even though we don't have a plan. And I'm just like, what? But then
Kind of hard to make a plan when you are doing it last minute and you haven't really prepared anybody for this. So I don't understand what you wanted them to do. I think it's stupid that they've kind of forced this, but I mean, hey, whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, like the Democrats, but now the Democrats are running around with chicken head cut off because it's like, oh my God, what do we do? And he just endorsed the vice president. I mean, did you expect to endorse someone else? Like, let's be real here. And so now, of course, you got in at the right time because good old Republicans, you know what? What can we do to take advantage of this? Oh, you know what? If he's not fit to run a race, he's not fit to be the president. What? Those two are two different things. Like, the man just decided he didn't want to do it.
But they've been saying that for weeks. That's not something new that they just said. When people first started saying he should drop out, they were like, well, he should not be president now, which to me is stupid because it's like, nah, he doesn't want to be president for 4 more years. He didn't say he couldn't be president for another 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. So then, of course, they're talking again, and it's like, well, like Nancy Mace from South Carolina, she's going to introduce a resolution to invoke the 25th Amendment. And I'm just like, how many times are they going to try to invoke the 25th fucking amendment? Like, it's 6 months. Like, really? You think he's going to fuck up the government in 6 months? Not more than your boy did, but that's a story for another time.
Here's the thing. Even if he steps down, what does that do for the Republican Party? It just puts Kamala as president.
Well, but what it does do is put Mike Johnson as vice president, because he is technically the next in succession after Kamala Harris. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get some power up there, but that
doesn't give them power. It doesn't give them power.
They say it does. I agree with you, and I agree with my 8th grade civics teacher. It don't really do shit for them, but it's up. They can say, well, we're in the vice president position now. Okay, whatever. And then it's just like, now that you're gonna try to get the man out completely because he don't want to be there for 6 more years. And then you got one dude talking about, well, he invalidated the 14 million people who voted for him. No, motherfucker, he just don't want to run. He don't want to be there for 4 more years after he beats Trump. That's what he's saying in the grand scheme of things. Now, with that being said, everything's in disarray as far as the Democratic Party, is what it is. But the funnier part that Moby and I were talking about earlier, you know how I felt bad for, AG, mostly?
Who's that?
The people at CNN.
Why?
Man, on CNN on Sundays, they got like their C team. They ain't doing shit. Bro, at 2 o'clock, they had everybody who be working Monday through Friday up in that piece. Hair looking all jacked up. Looked like they were chilling on vacation, enjoying their day off. Now we got to come into the world and talk about this shit. And it's just like, bro, man, they get no days off. I just felt bad. Even Van up there had like 3 decades of foundation caked on him. And I felt bad for him, man. I was like,
they do that just in case Van Jones starts randomly crying for no motherfucking reason.
He already did that.
So that's what I'm saying. So you got to put a whole bunch up there just because he's gonna cry for something.
Yeah, Abby, man, I felt bad for Abby, bro, because that hair looked like she won't trying to do shit today, and she up in there and they put that shit in a sort of bun, and it's just not cooperating. It's hot outside, shit ain't cooperating, and I was just like, man, they had to call in the A-team at like 1:30 once all this shit went down. I just felt bad for them. Because they can't get a fucking day off because, whatever. And the last thing I'll say, that I'm going to send it to AG. And I said this earlier. Bro, Biden knew he was jumping out this shit. Just because he didn't tell us immediately. It was brilliant for them to wait till after the RNC to do it. It's completely brilliant. So, I think he knew way before. I know he's telling people, yeah, I just figured it out last night. Whatever. Nah, man. This is a plan. This is a plan. They knew probably 2 weeks ago, but they were just like, no, don't do it now. Wait till after the RNC. Don't give them motherfuckers nothing else to talk about. And that sort of thing. And AG, I will pass it to you for your opinion on all of it.
You didn't have to. I heard it, and I've said all I needed to say about it before because I knew this would eventually happen. I don't think it was planned. I think that he felt like, it's better to try to salvage some sort of stability in the party because right now we're in disarray. And the longer I stay, the longer this is going to go on. So I'm good. But because the thing was, the only reason he was even thinking about running was because he knows what Trump will do. And he's the only one that they had in the pipeline that was going to even have a chance to beat him. I thought he could have beat him. So with all of that, he was like, deuces. And I told you 2 weeks ago that they were ill prepared. We all agreed that they were. But they didn't do anything in the last 14 days to shore anything up. So Biden was like, and I'm going to endorse Kamala Harris. So that being said, if you like what happened today, go vote. Don't sleep. All gas, no break. If you don't like what happened today, same thing. Go vote. All gas, all gas. Because I promise you right now, if I were to predict who was going to win right now, Trump by a landslide. Because of this. The 4% that you talked about a month ago, those people, like any human being, will make bad choices to make instability stable. They will pick stable over good decision making every time, because that's who we are as people.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a political statement. I always like to go to the human part of it, and the human part of it will always say, or most of the time say, I want to go where it's comfortable. Whether it's good for me or bad for me is immaterial. I want to go where it's comfortable. And right now, the Democrats can't offer the country any of that. They were like with their, pitchforks and torches. And now it's like, oh, he actually quit. What are we going to do now? Now, I've already said what I said about Kamala Harris too. I don't like her. However, what I'm not going to do is vote for Trump because I don't like her. I'm going to ride with her. I'm going to cape for her as hard as I can because I know what the alternative is. So, again, if you like what happened today, if you don't like what happened today, go vote. All gas, no break, because this is going to be tight. Because it is completely unstable right now. I am 55 years old in a couple months, about 3 or 4 months, and I'm telling you right now, this is the most unstable I've ever felt being an American citizen, politically. So, get your popcorn ready. This is going to be exciting. Either way you vote, this is going to be exciting. So,
True.
That's all I got to say about it. Nothing else to say.
Awesome. I mean, I just want to make sure Moby gets anywhere as he want to say in. If not, we can move on.
Hey, look, man, it's the most exciting part of this race is going to be the news people talking about it, because come election time, ain't gonna be shit exciting about it. This might be the greatest landslide presidential victory of all time.
I agree.
The Democratic Party might win 8 states, maybe 9. You're gonna see You're gonna see states that the blue has barely kind of taken over in the last couple elections, and you're gonna see all them motherfuckers flip to red. Because, like I told you earlier, it's not that, because you made the statement that a lot of people were afraid that people weren't voting for Biden because he was too old, and what I told you is like, no. There's nobody who was not going to vote for Biden because he was too old. These were just people who were looking for a positive reason to say why they were voting for Trump. They just want to vote for Trump without having to say, I'm voting for Trump. It's easier to say, I'm going to vote for Trump because Biden's too old than to say, I'm going to vote for Trump because I want to vote for Trump. So now, a lot of those people are just going to be quiet now. They're just going to quietly say nothing and go vote for Trump. Or what's going to happen is we're going to see the lowest voter turnout ever. Because there's just going to be some people who are just checked out. There's some people who are just looking at it now and they're just like, I already didn't feel good about the candidates. And now I still don't feel good about the candidates, but now I just don't have any faith in the system, period. So why am I voting? For what? For what? I mean, yes, I get when everybody says, hey, go vote, your vote matters. It absolutely does. I'll say it. It absolutely does. Except for this time, it really ain't gonna matter. Trump gonna win. Because there just ain't enough people with good intentions for the political party to actually do anything. This is what's been wrong with the Democratic Party for, last 25 years, is the fact that they're all bitches and they don't stick together. They're looking for any reason to stab a motherfucker in the back. The Democratic Party is like high school girls. They can't wait to turn on that bitch. They can't wait to stab a bitch in the back. They can't wait. There were so many people in the Democratic Party that's been itching for a reason to stab a nigga in the back. And when Biden couldn't finish his sentence, they was just like, gotcha, bitch.
Agreed.
Well, the one thing we can definitely say,
these hoes ain't loyal. That's what we can say. That's what we can say about the Democratic Party. These hoes ain't loyal.
I love that. These hoes ain't loyal.
That's not what I was gonna say, but
should've said
that does apply. That does apply. But no, we're in some unprecedented waters. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, like AG said, get your popcorn ready, because honestly, if she does win, greatest shit in history. I don't think, my opinion is, I'm going to be the positive guy here in what they'll call me the non-realist. And I'm fine with that, because that's
No,
what
I'm not going to call you non-realist. I'm going to say you're right. If you're going to say that there's a chance that this might all work, then you're just being the eternal optimist, and I love you for it, man. I wish I could like steal some of that optimism, because I just ain't got it, man.
You don't wish that. You know you don't wish that.
No, I do. Like, because I'm not one of those people that think just because you're an optimist, that means you're just naive. I mean, sometimes it takes a little bit of naivete to be optimistic when there's no reason to be optimistic. But there's also like a tremendous amount of hope that you have in your spirit. And God bless you, man.
God bless you.
I mean, look.
We all know what that means.
No, man. I didn't say bless you. I didn't say bless your heart. I said God bless
You
you.
know, well, actually, they're kind of interchangeable,
things.
but I understand you. I'm just giving you a hard time.
But, I mean, here's the thing. Like, we know that, once again, the Democrats will have to do the greatest job ever.
Which
Can
they're
they
not.
do it? Can they do it? Yes. Will they do it? That remains to be seen.
Ruben, sometimes
first-
past performance does predict future outcome.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Actually, a lot
But
of
that-
time.
But
A
there
lot of times it
also,
does, sir.
but there always is a chance.
You are on a yellow brick road, aren't you?
Once
Bruh,
again,
I live on a yellow brick road, man.
See, you're in the poppy seeds because you about to fall asleep. You can't
There
believe anything you're
always
saying
is
right now, can you? You believe yourself?
He said
I did.
there's always a chance.
Okay.
There's always a chance. I'm the eternal underdog.
So you're saying there's always a chance that people in hell might get that water fountain?
Yep.
Possibly.
Okay. Understood. Love you for it, man.
I mean, look.
Cousins
and
for
that's the
life,
thing,
homie.
right? I mean, that's what it is, right? You know, it's because, man, for me, it's just, yeah, it's not worth me thinking all the negative shit that's could or will happen. So it's like you gotta, if Trump wins, Trump wins. We had 4 years of it. Can we live through 4 more? We'll find out.
We're going to have to. Or you could move to Canada. But we're going to have to. So it doesn't matter.
But here's the other thing. Honestly, I think it's going to be hilarious for them to throw all that shit they threw at Biden right back at him.
But they're
hey,
not.
you know, I'm going. See, and that's the problem.
But how are you gonna throw it at, like, Ruben? You say they're gonna throw it at him as if people on the other side are listening. Nobody's fucking listening.
Hey, man, look, I you know what? Me being an optimist is crazy, right? And I
No, it's not crazy. I just wish people could hear you. Like I'm
I'm in the minority in this completely, and
You're not even in the minority. You're in a box all by yourself, screaming in the echo chamber, surrounded by motherfuckers who are deaf. Like, nobody's listening.
and I'm fine with that.
Nobody's listening.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, there is a difference between not listening and being deaf.
Yeah,
But he's right, though. He's completely right.
I mean, it's
Okay,
just
not even nobody's listening. Nobody can hear you. That's what it is. Nobody can hear you.
Yeah.
because I mean, I'm that tree that falls in the forest, and I'm fine with that. You know,
And I do believe the tree fell, no matter what I heard or not heard. I mean, I understand what you mean, and really, what I was saying about voting is me agreeing with you. But it's just like some days, man. It's like, and it wouldn't even be as bad if I thought that the Democrats actually had a plan, which they had 4 entire years. Remember, this dude let us know he has done nothing wrong, as far as I'm concerned, with respect to doing what I said.
He let us, at first he said he only wanted to run for one term.
Exactly. And the only reason he wanted to run for re-election is because that fool has a great chance to win, and he knows it.
that and the Democratic Party won't ready.
Well, see, that was my point. They had
Yeah.
4 years to prepare.
I agree, and now they got to prepare literally in a month.
I think what happened is, I think somewhere in there, at the beginning of Biden's term, I think the Democratic Party really did not think there was ever a chance that Trump would show up again. Even though we all knew Trump would show up again. It was like, they were like, nah, he ain't gonna run again. And then when a couple Republicans started to kind of talk against him at the beginning, they were like, oh, see, the Republican Party is gonna have to shift to somebody else. You remember that dude in Florida we used to talk about? DeSantis? Like, remember how they was like, hey man, the Republican Party's moving to DeSantis. Yeah, all right. And then Trump said, nope, let me unzip my pants real quick and let y'all know whose dick y'all are still sucking.
It's true. We talked about it in the show.
Yeah,
Because there's not one Republican that can divorce themselves or herself from him and still succeed. Not
It's
one.
so bad. Yeah, it's so
I mean,
bad.
Nikki Haley, don't like her, but I mean, she's got bukkake all over her face.
Bro.
I'm just letting you know, man. It's just like,
And the
she
crazy
knew.
thing is, as much as she speaks out against him, she still votes with the party on every
Exactly.
single thing. She just out loud talks about him, but then she still goes and does exactly what everybody else is doing.
Bro, that was the most painful watching her speak last week at the RNC. You could see the pain on her face just speaking. Like she wanted to just be like middle fingers, throw up, everything.
Yes,
Her
he deserves
face-
to die, and
Yeah.
I hope he burns in hell.
Hell.
But you know what? Guess
But
what
she did it for the group.
Exactly.
She sucked it up.
And actually,
She
you know
sucked
what?
up.
I wish the Democrats were had a little bit of that.
Once again, them hoes loyal, man.
Exactly.
They might talk
Yeah.
shit behind your back, but when it's time to show up, they all show up.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we need to talk about that to begin the show, just because that shit just happened. So now we'll get into the show. Part of the shit from last week that we didn't get a chance to go over. But then I hit her with a question this week, which I know everybody's excited to answer, because part of me is curious.
Now, which one? Because both of them are pretty cool.
I mean, yeah. So first of all, what's going on, Black Patricia Adams? Thanks for everybody joining us today. Yo, I mean, we hit you with the appetizer. We gonna hit you now with some real. So we're gonna rock 2 questions of the day. We're gonna start off with last week's question that we didn't get to, and then we'll come back to next week's question. This week's question. So first of all, how aggressive is too aggressive when a man makes his intentions known to a woman? Like, so let me re-explain that, because when I wrote it, I realized I was talking in circles, but that's how I do anyway. Like, when a man wants to tell a woman that he's interested, and women say, I want men to talk to me and tell me how they really feel. Oh, I'm getting there. How aggressive does a man need to say it? And how much is too aggressive other than the physical part? Like, yeah, whoop an ass or whatever. So, Mo B, you clearly have your hand up first like we're in school. So I'm going to let you go first.
It's a trick question.
Talk to me.
It's a trick question because you are operating under the assumption that the goalpost does not get to move. The goalpost moves all the time. So I would say it depends on how attractive he is, how much money he got, how much he's just actually attracted to whatever he represents. That goalpost will move however it's convenient for that woman. So there could be a dude that does absolutely nothing, and that woman will do whatever in her power to try to get his attention. And then there can be a dude that's super motivated, super into her, does all the right things, and she will find a way to say that he's thirsty, he's lame, he's too aggressive. It's a moving goalpost. You are acting as if women operate under this place in which they have a assigned value on things and it doesn't move. That does not exist. So to say how aggressive is too aggressive, that depends on multiple factors that she gets to generate depending on the person we're talking about. So it's an impossible question to answer. So my answer is, it's a trick fucking question. Let's move on.
AG?
Yeah, I understand what he means, but there's an addendum I want to make to it. This is the one time where I feel like, no, it's not feel like anything. This is the one time where a man is in charge. And you will sift out all weak ass women. Because if I go to a woman and say, you approach her the same way. I find you attractive, or, would you like to go out to dinner, or could I have your number, or whatever it is. All the normal stuff, you still have to approach, right? After that, it's like, look, I'm in this to get married. Or I'm in this to, I just want a bone. Whatever it is. So if you approach a woman, and I've been told this before, that's why I'm adding this to what Mo B said, because a lot of women like to say you're intense. Well, that woman is not ready for you, so you need to move on anyway. She's weak and flawed. She's not ready. So if you go to her and say, look, I want to get married, this is what I'm doing. I'm not really dating you as much as I am seeing if you can be a suitable wife. And do you fulfill all the requirements that I have? You're going to find out exactly what she's made of. Now, if you get the response that I usually got when I said, hey, I really like you, you're too intense. Well, you already know, yeah, okay, let's move on. Yes, she's not ready for you. So you find someone else and her response is, I agree. Let's go out, for a month or so, see where we are, because my intention is to find a husband. I want to see what you're about, where you are, blase, blase, blah. That is the woman that you're looking for. Or if, certain things don't work out, y'all part as friends or whatever it is, but there was no game playing. So in that way, you don't waste a lot of time. Like I said before, you're going to run into 10 women that aren't worth your time. And the other thing is, you don't make yourself a simp either. It's just like, nah, I don't really think that I could marry you, so I don't really want to call you anymore. Or I already know because I've seen you in the wild, I want nothing to do with you. So I'm not even going to approach you. This is the one time, or one of the few times where in a relationship with between a man and a woman, a man has all the power that he's ever going to have. And I go back to something Mo B said on this show, which made all the sense in the world. This is the part where when Mo B says that men have a problem saying no, that's a lot of our problem to start with. You guess what? He's right. Because in this part, you're saying, no, there's nothing you can do that's going to make me like you and make me want to spend money and make my life hell. And you get all the fruits of it and I get nothing. So I'm not ever going to call you again. I mean, I'll speak to you if I see you, but no, I don't really like you. What dude says that to women that's not Asperger, or at least on the spectrum? Not one. Could you imagine how easy your life would be if you walked up to a woman and said, this is what I'm trying to do. Are you down or not? She says yes, then you keep moving. She says no, then it's like, nah, I'm good. And move on to the next one. It doesn't have to be about sex or anything like that. The mechanics of it is the same. But the only time that some men get direct is if it's a sex thing sometimes. I'm saying to you, in this situation right now that you've posed, you have all the juice to get it right at the source. So whatever you try to mix is going to be so easy because you got it right at the source. You don't waste no time. You don't waste any energy. She's not looking for something for her necessarily that's out of line with what you're looking for. Everything is on the up and up. Everything's on the up and up. Now, then if you see some character flaws that you don't like or whatever, you can judge it on that. But I'm saying that you're not wasting your time with somebody that you don't have no business being with to start with. In every relationship I've ever been in, I can look at it and go, if I wasn't a bitch, I would have never had to deal with that. If I wasn't weak, I would have never had to deal with that. Because I already knew, especially as I got older, like anything past 30, bro, I wasted so much time thinking I couldn't tell a woman no. Just like Mo B said. He on this show, he literally said, we all bitches. So I'm saying to you right now.
At some point in time in our lives.
Exactly. We've all been simps.
We have all played the simp role.
Exactly. Women don't really do this. The only thing is
some people aren't repeat offenders.
And, you know what I'm saying? No. But see, that's my whole point with what you said. How rare is that, though? We all do it twice. We all do it 3 times.
Yeah, and sometimes you got to be a simp until you can't simp no more. That's really what it is. You got to hit that wall in your spirit where you just like, I can't do it.
Exactly. But I feel like the way what Ruben has said, all the young dudes out there that's listening, I hope you are, because what I'm saying to you right now is this. You don't really have to do it once, because you already know in your heart, if you'll search it, you already know what you don't like and what you don't want to put up with. Now, again, there's context here. You have to be straight too. Okay? You do. You have to do work on yourself, and you have to come and you have, you know, have
Hey,
to
now
come into
fuck
place.
that, AG. We ain't doing that. We not about to do the whole work on ourselves. We talking about them.
No,
we
we're
talking
not.
about them right now.
We're not doing that. We're not. But I do agree, though. I'm not going to spend a lot of time there. All I'm saying is to add context to this, know yourself. However, once you get there, if you don't like her because she did something, don't call her anymore. Tell her to get a fucking Uber. Get out of my car. I don't really care. Because see, now we're equals. I don't have to take you home. I don't have to buy you dinner knowing I don't like you. And then, are you serious? No. I'm not buying you dinner and I don't even like you. I don't even like you.
You're in the wrong direction though, because like the idea of like being aggressive or too aggressive, I promise you guys out there, the only time you'll ever be called too aggressive is if she just didn't want you.
Even more reason.
And the only time you'll be called passive is if for some reason she discovered that you were better than she thought you were, but you're not paying attention to her anymore. So that as soon as you say, hey, I'm interested in you, and she kind of gives you the push off, or, I'm not ready, I just want to be friends. And then as soon as you curve and go somewhere else, and she looks, oh shit, you are kind of a solid dude. I wish you'd have been more aggressive. Why can't dudes just say what they want? Bitch. He did say what he wanted.
Exactly.
You won't listen it. And ain't nobody got time to be trying to negotiate matters of the heart. Like, if you negotiating, you're already losing.
Exactly.
And I think that's what AG's saying. Like, as guys, we do a lot of negotiating. And it's just, we're negotiators. We're logical people. We feel like, hey, if she says I'm coming on too strong, that means I did something wrong. Therefore, I need to readjust how I'm doing things because, if I do these things, then she will all of a sudden now like me. When we know that's not how humans work. Typically, that's just not people work. They have that statistic they used to say all the time that women know within the first 30 seconds if they want to fuck with you or not. Like, so what I'm saying is on that 31st second, get the fuck about. Just bounce. Just stop wasting time. And here's the thing. You don't have to do it in a mean, disrespectful way. In fact, it hurts. I found in my experience, it hurts even more when you do it in a really respectful, lackadaisical way. Like, hey, that's cool. You ain't want that from me. I respect that. I'm going to go over here. And then she calls you or something and say, hey, no, I don't. Because what I want to do is not what you want to do. And I'm not about to whore off my time for you. Like, look, we all gonna be simps in a relationship. That's just it. But if I'm gonna be a simp, I'm gonna be a simp somewhere where I'm at least appreciated. You know what I'm saying? I'm a simp on my own terms. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be nice, respectful on my own terms. Like, no, you can go kick rocks. Like as that skit says, when the chick had the flat tire, and he tries to say something to her, and she's like, I got a boyfriend. And he's like, I was just trying to say you got a flat tire. Can you help me? Nah, bitch, call your boyfriend.
That's somebody that's not a simp. But we all respond, male and female respond to that situation Moby just put out there. It was on a reel that we've all seen. We all go, ouch. Why? Number one, you should have a job and you should have AAA. Be prepared. I'm telling you, man. If affairs of the heart, women have a decided and almost unfair advantage. However, you can neutralize all that by just not calling it no more. If you're not good enough, which most women are not good enough, then it should be easy to say no, but you're responding emotionally. You're responding to all the things that you've been taught that you can't do this to women, you can't say this. No. Number one, most women aren't good enough for you to start with. Because again, going back to the context I was giving that I wasn't supposed to give, but I'm gonna give it again. You've done all this work to be able to be worthy of any woman. And she's still flipping fries at McDonald's, virtually or real. She doesn't bring anything to the table. She doesn't even know how to be a good wife. She doesn't know how to do anything well. So why are you with her again? I'm not real sure. So again, like I said, to be able to look at a situation and go, no, thank you, is the most power any man ever has. Because it shuts down anything a woman could say. Because she's not around to say it.
And KBIACO is so right. If I had the mentality at 22 that I have at almost 42, oh man, so much of some of like the worst moments I've had with people of the opposite sex would have been avoided. Not because, you know, they did something wrong or anything. They were just being themselves. It's because we would have never been in that situation for any of that to happen. Because I would have been like, nah, this ain't worth it. Cool, I'm out. Like almost every bad relationship moment that most people have, if you really look at it objectively, 10, 15 years later, you go, you know what? That shouldn't even been a situation because I just shouldn't have been there. Like, I just shouldn't have been there.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely.
All day.
And here's the thing. I'm not shading any of the women I'm talking about. I played an equal role in that shit. But what I'm saying is what I know now, we just wouldn't have made it there. It would have been like, nah. And maybe we could still be cool afterwards because we would have cut it before we did all the stupid shit. We'd have cut it before, well, on my end, because we would have cut it before I would have held a grudge. I don't hold grudges anyway, but we could have actually moved forward amicably as responsible adults, but we don't do that. Especially guys. Guys, I heard somebody say it, and I didn't want to agree with it when he said it because I'm a dude, and I was like, I ain't want to agree that this dude said something that was profound about negatively affecting me. But he said, you know, most guys would actually rather be hurt than be vulnerable. And I was just like, damn, you're right. I put up with a lot of stupid shit because I ain't want to just be like, hey man, I can't do all this. Or hey, this ain't worth it for me. Or hey, you know, and I ain't got it. Like I know what you want in a male partner, and that ain't me right now. And I'm not about to be out here doing all these gymnastics for something that I ain't right now. Or maybe never will be. But, you know, somebody in the chat said, what if she got that good? That's what the fuck happens. You basically say, you know what? I will be miserable 80% of the time for this 20 to 30 minutes of paradise bliss that I get when I bust this nut. And immediately after I bust this nut, I will be like, man, I shouldn't be with this chick no more. But it's just really hard sometimes to be like, this ain't worth it.
Well, sometimes that good will make you think I got a chance. I can make it work.
Exactly, because you start negotiating. Once again, I said when you start negotiating of matters of the heart, you've already lost. When you start negotiating, especially if you're negotiating with yourself, not even talking about negotiating with the other person. If you have negotiations with yourself, it's a bad day. Like, and as friends, we gotta do better as friends when we hear our friends struggling.
We're not gonna listen. We're not gonna listen.
See, here's the thing. I don't care if my friend listens to me. What I care is that I can be able to say, hey, bro.
I told you.
Not even I told you, like, hey, man, you do what you want to do. I'm just saying, you working way too hard for a situation that ain't worth it. I can feel better in my spirit other than just ignoring it or doing what most guys do. Like, hey, man, I ain't got to lay with her. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, actually, that should let you know something's wrong.
Oh, yeah. But as guys, you know, we ain't supportive in our male friends' relationships. We support our friend without supporting the relationship.
Yeah.
Like, we're able to separate the two.
That's true. I agree.
We're able to separate the two. We can be like, hey, man, I mean, if you like it, man, I mean, look,
if you like it, I love it.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do, man, I support you, bro. You know, I'm gonna be here for you regardless. You know what I'm saying? when your friend says, hey, man, I'm gonna be here no matter what you decide, he really telling you making the wrong decision. He just is still letting you know he supports you.
But see, that goes back to what I was saying before, Mo. It's like we don't want to listen because we either got the good, or we're emotionally involved, or both. Even though I'm like, if you said that to me about a woman I got on my mind right now, I would be like, I know he's right, but I'm going to call her right after this podcast is over. In fact, I might even cut it short because that's who we are as human. That is a human flaw. And we just happen to be talking about men right now. I'm telling you right now, bro, it doesn't matter. We're not trying to hear it. Just like a lot of times I told you before in the past on this show about my folks and how they treated women that I was dating that they didn't like, and they knew why they didn't like her. It was like they didn't like her and they didn't like her for me. But they didn't say anything because they knew what would happen. I would just gravitate towards it more, and I would try harder. I would try harder to be tough enough or enough, which women challenge us all the time. You can't handle this, and we try to fucking handle it. If a woman tells me that, I'm gonna fucking believe her. I can't handle it, I'll see you later. Because those kind of challenges don't ever go away. But we're not listening because we're invested, because the pussy was good. We're invested because of our emotions and all those things. So if you give me common sense, Mo, I'll be like, I'm good. I'm better than that. Ain't gonna happen to me. Yeah, it's gonna happen to you, bro, because it's happening right now. You got a dick in your ass and you don't even know it. Just letting you know.
Oh,
We're not gonna listen.
And I'm gonna co-sign on that, AG, because you're right. And I'm gonna say, as the young people say now, when I hear them trying to be positive each other, so young kings out there, young kings out there. If a woman says you ain't strong enough to deal with her, she's right. Get the fuck out.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out.
Stop taking steroids, sir. Just
because
keep it moving.
At some point in time, your masculinity should not have to prove its strength to femininity. It should not have to prove it. And if you've got to constantly prove yourself to someone, why? And young queens, if you have to prove that you're submissive enough for somebody's ego, then you should. If a guy says you're not submissive enough, but he's not saying it from a position of control, leave. He's right. You're not submissive enough. You're not submissive enough for him. And that's okay. Like people, kings and queens, it's okay not to be with each other. Some people ain't meant for you, and you ain't meant for some people. That's the information I wish I knew when I was in my early 20s, that there was no negativity about not being right for somebody.
Well, all I'm saying is, Ruben, you got a humdinger, sir. That was good.
It's a moving goalpost, though. I promise you, it's a moving goalpost. That's why there's no answer to the question.
That's more of a matter when you're with somebody and they're the one or whatever it is. I'm
gonna disagree, AG, because all right, how many times? You know what? Perfect example. Hey, Ruben, me and you watched this clip. It was with Michael B. Jordan. He was walking out in public, and some girl was like, "Hey, we went to high school together. You remember me?" And he said, "Yeah." And he's like, "I'm not so lame now, am I?" And walked off. And we was like, "Damn!" But what happened is, back in the day, her goalpost for him was like, "Hey, you're not cool enough. You're not doing all these thugnificent things. You're not doing all this. So you're not aggressive enough for me. But now that you somebody, hey, why weren't you more aggressive towards me?" It's a moving fucking goalpost based on her desire for him.
That's true, but I still say that would have.
Now that he's the motherfucking man, and you know what? A lot of people will say that's ultimately petty of him, and I'm gonna say, fuck that. You're absolutely right. That shit is beautifully petty.
Is it petty though?
No, it is petty, AG, because he didn't have to say anything. He could have just
walked away and just said no.
He could have just said, "Yeah, I remember you," and kept it moving. But nah, he was like, "Nah, bitch, I remember you. I remember you vividly." He remembered her so much that he remembered that at one point in time, this chick
called him lame.
He was lame.
Yeah.
Which at some point in time, he probably thought she was cool.
Yeah, he probably used that to, kind of move forward in his career. He probably did. Because there's some things that women have said about me that I remember to this day. Then it's just like, yeah, that was probably fuel to his fire, sir.
Buddy.
So ladies, I'm glad he didn't say bitch, even though I said it like 3 or 4 times. But that's just because emotionally, I felt kindred spirit to him.
Wait a minute. How did you say that? Wait a minute.
I just
How
said
can
it.
you say that?
I mean, I don't know her name, but he did. So I'm glad he didn't say bitch. I don't know her name.
And it's so surprising with somebody that is in a house full of women. You say it with such zest. I'm just saying.
Here's the thing, AG. I can say this, and you know what? It's the morality code that I've created. I don't give a fuck if nobody agrees with it. I have never called a woman a bitch. I've never individually been talking to someone and said, hey, you're a bitch. Or, hey, fuck that bitch. Never have done it. Now, if I did know a woman's name and she did something that I thought was, less than.
Look at that bitch here.
Exactly. or I might have stated someone was acting like a bitch. See, there's a very big difference between acting like a bitch and me calling you a bitch. Because you might be a respectful young lady, but in this present moment, you are in fact acting like a bitch.
If I colored you white and said nigga, you'd be
Once again, I understand the morality code might not be justification for other people, and that's okay. That's okay. I live my life based on my own morality code.
I'm just saying, man.
And I can honestly say, never out of anger have I been arguing with a woman and said bitch. Never in spirit have I been talking about somebody that like did me wrong. And there was a woman and I knew her name and I was like, that bitch. Never have I done it, AG. But
all I'm saying is,
that over there did something disrespectful to somebody else, man, fuck that bitch.
You know what?
FDB.
The only thing I'm saying is, it's almost like a white person be like, "Hey, no, man, I didn't say you was a nigga. I just said you was acting like a nigga."
You see, my fellow white comedian Gary said this shit, and I was like, "Hey, man, Gary Owens was somebody was like, you mean you ain't never said nigga?" And he was like, I mean, I listen to rap music too, and I be in my car.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I can respect that because he's not calling anyone a nigga. He's not even referring to black people as niggas. But if the song is nigga, 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 and he's in the car, I don't feel like he should have to look over his shoulder to see if somebody is reading his lips while he's driving in his personal vehicle.
I'm not debating with somebody who I can't win a debate with. All I'm saying is some hair splitting, but I get you. It's still hilarious.
I am okay with my hypocrisy.
Yes, you are. Well, we discovered that last week, so understood. Next question, Ruben.
Awesome.
This is good.
Awesome.
This is good.
I mean, the boys lighting up, man. I mean, it's, Brent Malone said pretty much the aggression is proportional to how she finds you attractive. Very true.
Or your status.
Yep.
Yeah, same thing.
Keviako did say be a simp, own your simpness. It ain't tricking if you got it. He can't get down with that.
I mean, look, I actually feel like some parts of me hates the fact that we've glorified simping. But part of me is also like, hey, man, if that's what you are, that's what you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mad at you.
You gotta own that shit.
You might be fucking the game up for the rest of us, but I mean, look, man, that's just what it is, man. It ain't your job to make the game easier for everybody else. It ain't your job to make the game easy for somebody else. Now, we ain't gotta respect you. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta respect you, but it ain't your job to make it easier for everybody else. So what I'm saying is, if some rich dude wants to go to the club and buy the bar out, spend a whole bunch of money, and leave with a couple women, like, I can acknowledge this nigga out here simping his best life. And I could be hateful and be like, fuck that nigga. But no, I'm not going to be that way, because I'm going to be like, hey, that is his chosen path to success. And I ain't got to respect it. I can respect the game, but I ain't got to respect it. I can still be like, that simping ass nigga. But I'm not mad at him, because it ain't his job to make it easier for me. It ain't his job to live by the same code.
Wait a minute. That's simping ass nigga. Oh my God.
Just like I said, if I won the lottery and I get my Skyline and I go through Wendy's in reverse, look, I understand that what I'm doing is some petty ass shit, that I'm fucking it up for everybody. I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm just not.
As long as
that's
he's
my
being
path
honest,
to
y'all.
success. That is my path to success.
Jesus. All right. Black Patricia Adams said, I don't think the man has to be aggressive. It's majority of women that got the I'm the prize mindset, so that 8 out of 10 will see all they can get from you and do all for them while still scouting men out, fit what they want. You can have everything and more, but it's still not you they want.
Absolutely true, but here's the thing. I don't think it's just because women think they're the prize. Because I think even the most prize-worthy woman in their own mind will still bend the knee when they see something that they want. So all these Hasidity women who are like, hey, I need a guy to do this, I need a guy to do this, I need to do that. If Chris Brown walks by, he can be like, shut the fuck up, bitch, and come on. And her ass is gonna get in the car with him.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So no, I don't give a fuck if she thinks she's the prize, because it's funny how the prize switches when she actually sees the fucking prize.
Very true. Let's see. Brett Malone asked, "What if it's that good?" I think you've already talked about.
Here's the thing, Brent. It's always that good in your own mind, and that's the problem. We get so hung up on the fact that we think good is singular. Like, yo, there's a lot of good pussy out there. I promise you. There just is. It's the statistical inevitability that there's other good pussy out there. It's the law of statistics, man. It just is, man.
Wow. Statistics.
So when that woman's acting like she got the best pussy on earth, I promise you, statistically speaking, you're probably wrong. As Maury would say, you know what I'm saying, the result of that, and you are not the best pussy in the world. Like, you're just not.
You're not.
Wow, that's cool.
It's not cool. It's statistics, man.
Yeah, I get it. Kevyako said, when you move on, just don't get out and run away. So you don't get so like Jonathan Majors. Yeah, I feel bad for that guy, but oh well.
For that guy.
Yeah. If we all had his knowledge when we were in a dating game, that's right. And not even assaulting them, right? I don't remember what that was about. He did. Shout out to Young Bloods. Hopefully they taking all this in.
Yeah, Young Kings, man. Young Kings.
Young Kings are not going to take it in.
Yep. And then he reminded everybody that AG's bringing back all the pegging, because he does that.
That's what it's like when you're a simp, man. It's dick in your ass. Just don't know it. Just think you're constipated. That's all.
Jesus. And of course, BMA hates, screams I'm toxic. Yeah.
I actually don't have a problem with women saying, I know I'm toxic. I actually appreciate that, because that, unfortunately, once a woman yells out, I know I'm toxic, then the men instantly become the problem. Because if somebody's saying, I know I'm toxic, and you're still trying to pet it, like if when a venomous snake curls up and hisses at you, you shouldn't then go try to pet it.
But yet we do every time.
Exactly. That's why I said, once a woman says, I know I'm toxic, she's no longer at fault for anything that happens after that. Because if a nigga could hear and you still chose to ignore, hey, personal responsibility. We say it all the time, man. Sometimes you got to be accountable, man.
That's right.
If a chick is yelling at the top of her lungs at you for no goddamn reason, saying, I know I'm toxic, and you're still sitting there, you're the issue.
That's your fault.
You're the issue.
Everything that happens after that.
I'm not blaming you. I'm not going to blame you, Ruben. I'm just going to say at this point in time, now you're the issue.
yeah, definitely. Why does Ruben not have to answer the question? Because Ruben asked the question.
So Ruben doesn't answer the question. No, Ruben doesn't answer the question because Ruben doesn't want to answer the question. It's not about being a moderator. It's because me and AG, in the course of answering questions, we say a lot of things that might upset people or might get us looked at with the side eye. And Ruben is still in his bitch acidness, and he don't want to disappoint nobody up here. He's that guy that we talk about that doesn't want to say no, that doesn't want to disappoint anyone. So Ruben's just like, hey man, I'm gonna let you two be the bad guys because hey, you're already married and nobody, you ain't checking for these hoes. And Ruben's like, hey, I'm still trying to get it in, and I don't want none of these chicks to be mad at me. And you know what, Ruben? I respect it.
Well, after that rant, surprisingly, no. The reason why I did not answer the question, because this is one of the few questions that I actually ask, because, you know, in my times looking for, you know, someone who wants to carry my last name or not or whatever, or just wants to hang out with me, you know, this is important information for me. And so, yes, I didn't answer the question because the question was my question. Like, because
I still think my answer fits too.
I think your answer doesn't fit this time, but I think it fits sometimes. But I usually try to answer those questions. If it's a question that I ask directly, then I won't answer because it doesn't make sense for me to answer it.
Get off his back, man. He don't need to answer the question. He asked the question. This is his question. This is his goddamn show.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So. But
I tried to get you out of it. I said you're the moderator. I was just saying.
I mean, it's okay.
He is. He's the moderator. I just was explaining why.
But here's the second question of the day, and this is really the important question. And yes, this is another question for me because this has been in my heart for a while, and I felt like it's just time to ask the question.
You got hate in your heart, let it out.
And that's why I'm letting it out right now. Yo, man, the one thing that kills me the most is that you want to be a boss, you want to be independent. Women want to be independent. They want to be bosses. They want to be all this. But then they turn around and say they want a man to lead them. I don't understand. Like, do you want a man to lead you? Do you want to, like, be a boss? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't get it. So, if Moby has raised his hand, because we're back in school, so I'm gonna go ahead and let him go again.
No, since I'm gonna let AG answer the question first. I just wanted to amend what you said. I don't think I've met any woman who actually, by definition of what a boss is, actually, in fact, wants to be a boss. They just like saying that shit. Go ahead, AG.
Again, I'm gonna make an amendment to it because it's true. But here's the other thing that I would say: the 1% want to be led, and the 1%, the 1% of women that want to be led that is talking to a dude, and I'm talking to this dude right now. Be ready, because there's responsibility for having a woman like that. So be ready. Now, having said that, women that say that in general are hiding from any responsibility. Because if you say that you want to be led, you don't, like Mo B said, you don't really mean that. They want to be able to tell you what to do and then hide behind the responsibility, which is hiding behind you and then let you handle whatever happens. So if there's a big decision to be made, she's all up in your grill because you're not consulting her. You already know what needs to be done, but she wants to be all up in your business. Then you do it exactly the way she wants to do it and everything falls apart. And then she looks at you and go, well, you're supposed to be leading. That's what women actually want on average. And then when it goes right, then she wants you to give her flowers. That's what you're actually talking about as far as I'm concerned. Any woman that says to me that they want to be led will tell me whether that's true or not in the first 10 minutes of talking to her, probably less.
AG, they'll tell you, I can, young kings out there. let me address you again. If you really, really want to know if your woman or the woman that you're courting or the woman that you're engaging in whatever you're engaging with truly respects you as the person that is leading, ask one simple question. Hey, what you trying to eat tonight? And everybody, you see that silence right there? If you ask a woman what you trying to eat tonight, the typical response is either I don't know or it doesn't matter. Or you pick. See, if you get the you pick answer, you gotta test that. See, don't think that all of a sudden you got a submissive woman. You don't. You got a chick that don't want any of the responsibility of this being a bad decision. So what happens is you name a place, No, I don't really want to eat there. You name another place. No, I don't really want to eat there. And now you're frustrated because now you're like, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to take you somewhere and we're just going to eat there. Now, if you pick something and the food turns out not to be good, it's your fault. Because she's going to go, well, you picked the place. Even though in the back of your mind, you named 6 other fucking places first that she said no to. But because this one didn't turn out well, she wanted to be a part of the decision without being a part of the failure. They want all the responsibility that comes with success and none of the accountability that comes with failure. That's all it is. And that's why I said by definition, I've never truly met a woman that quote unquote wants to be a boss. Because you want to be successful. You might want to make a lot of money. You might want the title. But when you're a boss, there's something very important that happens. It's if this shit don't work, it's your fault. And I ain't never met a woman that wants to say that. Also, all these women who are super successful always say, I ain't trying to take care of no man.
That's what a boss does.
Unfortunately, exactly what a boss does is you take care of motherfuckers.
That's literally the definition of being in charge. You're responsible.
You take care of a whole lot of motherfucking people.
No, man. I'm glad he said that because I was thinking in my mind, I was waiting for him to finish. But I'm telling you right now, man, women don't want the responsibility and they don't feel like they need to take care of anybody. Them wanting to be a boss is them getting a whole bunch. They want to be a queen. And when I say that, they want people running around and serving them at every turn and any whim they may have. That's what they want. But they don't want to be responsible for everything that happens to have that happen to them. And then if you tell them that they're a queen and everybody run around and serve you, then they offended. It's like, wait a minute, you told me this is what you want. Then I tell you what you are and you're mad? Really?
Hey, what Paul Mooney said, everybody want to be a nigga till it's time to be a nigga.
Exactly.
You just say that. It's funny.
I'm telling you,
You know what I'm saying? All these people who get, I'm a boss, bitch. Everybody want to be a boss until you have those boss consequences, which is if this shit don't work, you still got to take care of everybody. Mm-hmm. You still got to make sure everybody eat. And you can't be like, I ain't trying to take care of no grown, because as a guy, when we are quote unquote had a household or boss, don't nobody want to hear us be like, man, ain't anybody take care of no grown ass woman. Anybody. You sound, as they say, zesty if you say shit like that.
Zesty?
Yes. That is the new term for women when they want to insult a man's masculinity by calling him less than. You say he's acting zesty.
I had not heard that.
So if a guy expresses his emotions to you, he's being real zesty. No, he's not being emotionally mature or emotionally responsible or emotionally aware. No. He's zesty because he's talking about his emotions, and his emotions make you feel bad about who the fuck you are. That makes you zesty. It's the new insult.
Well, our thing is, it's easy to do all the things that we're talking about when you're not responsible for anything. You're not responsible for day-to-day. You're not responsible for taking care of anybody. And I'm saying it's even worse when you don't have children, and you're not responsible for legacy. You're not responsible for anything short-term or long-term. If you are, you can say that you're tired. I can't do this. Why don't you help me? All the things that women say to men all the time. And I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case, would you please stop trying to be in charge? I'll help you. But if you're going to be in charge, then I expect you to pull your fucking weight. How about that? You can take out the garbage. I've seen you lift a couch when you're mad cleaning. But all of a sudden, all the outside stuff is my job. When I've seen you cut the grass. All I'm saying is, if you don't want to be responsible for anything, if you don't want to be accountable, then you might want to talk to an older woman or read a Bible or something like that and figure it out.
Read a Bible.
Because
No, it's important he said that because a lot of people don't realize a lot of the young kings and queens today mistake masculinity and femininity, and they have the idea of what the two mean. Like masculinity is seen as strength and femininity is seen as weakness, when nothing could be further from the truth.
Yeah.
Like the Bible, all in the Bible, these women and in the older generation, as the AG say, when you talk to older women, they realized that the thing that these wives did really, really fucking well back in the day was, hey, I know my man's out here taking all of these licks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shield him from whatever is in this space. I'm going to build him back up because I know everybody else is beating him up. I know no matter how much we feel like we're evenly contributing, I know the world is only looking at one of us to do certain things. Like, we can say we're in a 50-50 relationship. Hey, both people are working. But I promise you, if you hear about a couple and you hear about them getting kicked out of their house and all this stuff, the first person you look at is always the guy. That's the world. The world is looking at that. So no matter how much we're saying, hey, we're all doing this together, we're 50-50. Yeah, at the end of the day, those older women also understood, hey, we know who is getting beat up by the world. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we're not part of the beating up process. Like when you come home, it should be like an ice bath. Like, I know you've been getting your ass whooped from the rest of the world, so I'm going to give you a space to recover it. Not a space where you have to then prove to me the same thing you're out here trying to prove to the rest of the world, which is that you're enough. And that's women being the prize is true. The problem is it's just not true in the way that y'all think. You're not the prize because of your looks or because you're a trophy wife. You're the prize because, as the Bible said, when a man finds a wife, he's found a good thing. Is because, hey man, recovery is important. You know, you ask any good athlete, hey, you can train as hard as you want, but if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're not icing shit down, if you're not getting your proper nutrients, if you're not fueling your body correctly, it's going to break down. That's what marriage is. That's what relationships are. If he's out there getting beat up and training to take on the world, that recovery process is important. So if you're not creating a space and atmosphere in which he can do that, then you're not the fucking prize. You're the enemy. You're the enemy behind, you're behind the lines. You're literally on the wrong side of the gate being the enemy. So when women say we're the prize, like as a guy, we joke about, hey, these women all think they're prize, like, but truly, as two people who've been married for a while, me and AG, I think we can both wholeheartedly agree on this. Like, if you found a good one, you goddamn right she's the prize. You goddamn right she's the prize. Because the world out here trying to fuck me up. And sometimes she might contribute to it, but when she sees, hey, this world done beat him up too much right now, I'm gonna give him a pass today. I'm gonna help build him back up. That's important. And I don't think we talk about that enough. We celebrate who's the leader of the household and submissiveness. Bro, it ain't about that, man. It's about if we're truly a team, like there are different roles on the team. And it doesn't mean that one person's role is less than. Like, even if she's the breadwinner, she's making the majority of the money, I promise you, the world looks at him as far as like taking care of the household and making sure everybody's good. That's his responsibility, whether it's his role or not. And understanding that and understanding how to nurture each other in that way, that's where we miss all the time. So when I hear women, or say, I'm the prize, what do you bring to the table? I'm the table.
I'm the table. Wow. Oh, man.
No, because if I say what you bring to the table and all you say is yourself, you're just another fucking mouth to feed. Like, I don't need any more people at this table. This table is fucking full. When I ask you what you're bringing to this table, I mean, how you gonna help provide for the rest of this goddamn table?
Well, you're supposed to be a man. It absolves you from any responsibility, Ruben.
Absolutely.
Because they can always say, and it's true, well, you the man. Okay, that's true. And then after she says that, if you're not married to her, drop her like a stack of bricks.
Hot potato.
And Ruben, just know, you can never say, but you're the woman for anything.
Nope.
For anything.
Nope. And that's where the moving goalpost comes in. That's why I said what I said 20 minutes ago. Because usually this happens in a relationship and you're kind of in the relationship, and then you'll find this out later, which you kind of find it out in the beginning, but you'll find it out later. That's where that goalpost starts moving, man. And when it does, because a real one, the goalpost doesn't move. I mean, we might joke about it, but for real, Lauren's goalpost has been stuck in the fucking ground since we were kids, and it is for real now. I can count on her being something or not. I always know what's coming.
Okay, so if we're gonna still say football terms, what I'm gonna say is even the realists, they might not move the goalpost, AG, but you be on a different half sometimes and don't know. The angle for this kick sometimes moves.
Well, I'll say,
even if the goalpost didn't move, sometimes where you are in proximity to the goalpost.
That is very true. That is very true. And I will say this, at least for me, she will say she ran the wrong route. She will. She was like, it's on me. I ran the wrong route. Even though I'm the one that gets hung up with the interception, I threw the pick. But she will say, boo-boo, I ran the wrong route. Real talk. I got you next time.
Sometimes I just miss kicks, man. You know what I'm saying? I missed the kick. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying. So I got a real one. All I'm saying is, man, like I said, most women, 99% of women don't really understand what we're talking about right now. And they're the ones that, they want to lead some stuff until it gets hard. That's why it always makes me laugh when women are always like, we should lead this and we should lead that. And the first thing out of a woman's mouth when she's working or whatever it is, I'm tired, help me. Help you? Are you serious? I thought you said we were equal. If we're equal and we're the same, I don't remember a dude never saying that out loud. So, just saying.
All right, AG, I'm reading what Black Morticia Adams said, and I'm going to say what I feel about it. And I feel like what she just did there, and she doesn't even know it, is she created an environment to move the goalpost. Because anytime I hear somebody say, when a woman feels secure in every aspect, we have no problem being submissive.
Yeah, I've heard that before too.
That's a moving goalpost. Because first of all, there's no way I can ever make you feel anything you don't already want to feel. I can't make you feel totally secure in every aspect. I can't. No matter how good I am, because you have baggage, you have experience, you have history. There's all, like, being secure is taking a chance. Security comes with risk. Like, there's no, I just know I'm gonna be safe here. That's stupid. Security is about taking a chance. So when you say, if a guy makes me feel secure, but you're not saying what's required to make you feel that security, that means the goalpost is wherever the fuck you choose to put it on that day. And the problem with that is, I'm not saying that you should automatically just do whatever the fuck a guy says. That's the wrong version of submission. That's stupid. I wouldn't advise that for anyone. But you should be able to earn the right to make a mistake. Because that's the problem that I think women miss when it comes to, hey, I want him to lead. Yeah, but if you want somebody else to lead, you gotta fucking live with his mistakes too. You gotta understand that just because he's trying to lead you right, don't mean he ain't gonna lead you astray a few times. Don't mean he's gonna fucking miss the exit and have to reroute. That shit happens in life. But the problem is, as soon as somebody leads you in the wrong direction, now all of a sudden you're saying they're not worthy of being leading. Hey, the only person that can lead you infallibly is God. So if you asking me to be Jesus, I will gracefully bow out and say, can't do it. Can't do it. Even if my name's Jesus, can't do it.
And the other thing too with that is, most people, this is not even a woman thing, but it leads to it. Human beings want to be able to trust, but they are not good at trusting, because really the submissive part is this is an all things being equal type of statement. The dude has to be right. Okay. Now, having said that, you submitting to me means I'm responsible for you. That means when you hide behind me, you're not going to be able to see over me. Ever. You're trusting that I'm going to do the right thing, and you are busy behind me doing your thing, whatever that is. You're not going to be able to see, because every time you try to see some get jacked up. You're not going to be able to see over me. You're going to have to trust that I'm doing the right thing. That is hard for anyone to do, certainly for a woman to do in this situation. I mean, the Garden of Eden, if you believe in that, should tell you everything that we're saying right now. So
Okay.
there it is.
So, and there's a comeback. So to feel safe and secure is not saying we won't run into issues. When he couldn't take the lead, I took over till I was able to stand back ahead, comfortable and confident. So,
You know, I feel like every statement we're making about this, and when it's a back and forth, it's always like we're making the statements as if there's no such thing as wrong. And what I mean is like, yeah, okay, you took over when he couldn't lead. No. Here's the thing: leadership is gonna take you places sometimes where you shouldn't be. It's going. You're gonna go the wrong way sometimes, and everybody involved is gonna get hurt. Leadership is taking responsibility for that and doing whatever you can to get back on the right. And that's all I'm saying. Like, I think some people expect leadership to be like this thing where if I'm quote unquote head of household, if I'm leading, then if we end up in the wrong place, I'm a bad leader. No, it means I'm a leader that made a mistake. It might mean I'm growing as a leader, because 41-year-old me married me. I'd like to think I'm a little bit better than 30-year-old married me was. You know what I'm saying? Like I might make some similar mistakes, but I'd like to think there's some things that I do now much better because I've been allowed to lead and I've been allowed to make mistakes. I've been allowed to put us in some situations where I'm just like, ooh, I fucked that one up. But hey, I'm also like, still my job to make sure we get back. And the submissiveness that I've always asked for had nothing to do with her bending the knee for me. It's like, hey, let me fuck up. Like if because we can't have too many chefs in the kitchen or nothing get cooked. So like, hey, if I'm cooking, like let me do the seasoning, let me do this. I got this. If it turns out you don't like it, I'll fix it next time. You know what I'm saying? But like, you got to let me finish the meal first before you try to correct me on it.
let Mo be cooked. That's what it is.
Especially if there's a grill involved. Yeah, I got you.
Keviako, sometimes they be sending them guts to wins after the balls kicks. Yep. And of course, Bull Cowboy and Mo B we trust. Should be on a dollar bill.
Please don't do that. I will fuck this whole shit up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's honesty that you would only get here on 5 Minute Wonder right there, buddy. So, awesome. I appreciate y'all. Once again, that's another question I had, because it's like, you know, well, I want my man to lead me. I'm just like, how about we just do this shit together? Like, that's okay, isn't it? Like, what?
I guess the advice I would truly give the young bloods out there is, as a guy, if you're really trying to quote unquote be a leader in the relationship, be willing to make a mistake, be humble enough to admit the mistake, and be tenacious enough to grow from the mistake. Because inevitably, you're gonna make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is, man.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Hey, AG, man, what's on your mind, bro?
It's going on the piggybacking with the lead thing. When you're teaching somebody something, or you are a type of person, and people usually teach other people how to be them, as opposed to teaching them concepts. And then you drill it into them. You say they're soft, you say they're this and that and the other, so they finally learn it. And then they give you, what you've been teaching them, basically putting a mirror up in front of your face, and then you don't like what you see, then you get mad at them for doing what you told them to do. Yeah, you might want to rethink your position in that person's life, sir or ma'am. You spent all this time teaching somebody, instead of concepts, how to be you. And then when you see them in the world, or where they regurgitate it back to you, then you mad. I think you might have a problem. So be aware, when you are in a leadership position, try to be the best you can be, so you can be the best leader you can be. Because inevitably, whatever you're putting out, somebody's gonna give back to you. So just be aware. That's what I got.
Awesome. Thank you, AG. Mo B, man, what's on your mind, bro?
Being aware of my impending doom as a human being. Truly grasping the fact that I'm getting old and I'm probably closer to death than I am to being born again. Like I just want to take the time to acknowledge that in my life I have done two amazing things. One is a consequence from the other. One, I picked a real one, as AG would say. And two, my balls created two incredible human beings. Like this is grade A sperm. We're talking here, like, bro, sometimes I look at who my daughters are and I'm just like, I cannot believe 2.5 minutes of greatness created such wonderful things. Like I just can't. Like I never thought the best part of my O face would be like two unbelievable human beings, man. But like, and I get sad because I'm like, I really understand when they be like, man, it goes by quick. Cause I'm just like, man, I kind of miss when they were like super little and used to get excited about the smallest shit on earth. Like I'd be like, hey, we're gonna go to the park for 20 minutes. Yay, you're the greatest dad in the world. Now it's like, you know, sure, we can go somewhere if you want to. I don't care. Do whatever you want. But you know, but they're just such, like, I took my daughter back to camp and we walked into the cafeteria because everybody was eating, because I guess I got her back there when they were eating dinner. And we walk in and all the kids start, hey, it's Cadence, and everybody starts clapping and cheering for it. I'm just like,
You got to tear.
you came out of my balls, and now people are giving you standing ovations for walking in the room.
So does that mean your balls get a standing ovation too?
They don't need it, man. I'm comfortable being behind the scenes, man. like we know what created this, man. I know. Like, you know, look, I'm not ignoring the other 23 chromosomes that came from my life partner. I'm not. I'm simply saying they were in my balls first. Therefore, the process started with me.
I'm not touching any of this. I'm just not going to touch any of this. I'm just not.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, look, it's magnificent because, like I put too much out there. She wasn't even supposed to be able to get pregnant. She was still on the birth control shot. Boom, pregnant, super sperm, baby. Like, my sperm was literally wearing a cape. It was wearing a cape.
I can't with this dude. Okay.
And they're such unbelievable people, and I don't know where the fuck they got that from. Because, like, I mean, their mom's alright, and I'm me, but they're great. Mom's alright.
Never mind.
You know, here's the thing. She's an awesome mom, but I'm just like, as human beings, if she really takes a step back away from herself, she'd realize our kids are already better than us. Just at life. Like, just at life.
Oh God. All right.
I mean, look, they can fuck it up when they become adults because, you know, you can do that still. But as of right now, I'm like, hey, we gave y'all the right chromosomes to work with, and y'all have balled out of control with this shit, man.
So many ball references.
I mean, would you prefer testicles?
I mean,
I can say testicles. I mean,
I'm just not going to say anything anymore.
I mean, look, my sperm count might be done right now. You know, I'm old. My sperm count might be non-existent, but when it was kicking, you know, look, my sperm might not be like Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali. It might not be like greatest of all time, but I feel like it's like that Roy Jones category where it's like, hey, in his prime though, I'm just saying he might have had the longest career, you know what I'm saying? It might have trickled off towards the end, but yo, in that 4 or 5 year span when he was at his prime, yo, that nut was kicking, bro. That nut was kicking. And that's all that's on my mind, man. Like,
sure.
Reminiscing about my nut at its prime.
God.
And honestly, if you think about like an athlete's career, you know, most athletes, you know, your prime between like 26, 31, that's when it starts to taper off. Like, hey, had both my kids right in my prime too. So like, hey, that nut was as good as it was ever gonna be. And they're proof positive.
All right. All right.
Shout out for Warner for nurturing this good sperm. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out.
Wow.
I'm just saying, because a sperm can't do nothing without some good eggs too. I'm saying, I'm not trying to say I did everything. I'm just saying they were with me first. They were with me first.
We just hanging around talking about dick titties.
Hey, look, if your dick titties could create life, we wouldn't have to talk about it. But your dick titties can't. Ours can't.
All right.
Even if you don't have dick titties, but my dick titties created life. So they're amazing. One might be a little bit bigger than the other one. They're starting to hang a little bit lower than they used to. You know what I'm saying? But hey, overall, they've been awesome, man. These are winners.
Pegging and dick titties. All right.
I said that. I specified you didn't have them.
Hilarious.
I mean, you can say they were wasted, but I say they weren't ready. You know what I'm saying? My teenage nut weren't ready for this. My early 20s nut, that sperm wasn't ready. It wasn't ready to produce this. It just wasn't. You know, I wasn't ready. It wasn't ready. You know, so we just, you know, we stayed on the grind. You know what I'm saying? We worked on our craft. You know, we practiced as much as we could. And when it was game time, you know, they made it happen. Yeah, they made it happen. Mm-hmm. Under impossible odds, man. Impossible odds.
Chris. Well, shout out to Nope, not doing it.
Yeah, I did it already. Yeah, you ain't got to shout my balls out.
I'm not going to. I
already did it.
All right, thank you, sir. Jeez. What's on my mind is very simple. It's very important to advocate for yourselves, especially when you have a partner, you know, because the one thing that everybody seems to forget is unless, you know, your partner is a member of the X-Men or something like that, they don't have telepathy. So they can't, you know, read your mind. I hear you, Black Witches Adams. I hear you. So it's very important that you tell them things that you want. You got to advocate for yourself. Because, I mean, I'm not talking about just in, you know, what I want for dinner or, hey, I want you to do this for me. Everywhere, like even sexually. You need to advocate for what you want. If you like it this way, but not that way, or you like it in this hole, but not the other hole, you probably need to have that conversation.
Way to bring it full circle. We talked about these awesome balls, and now you're talking about what hole to put it in. Like, bro, way to bring that. That's why you the host of this show, man.
I do what I can, sir. But all I'm saying is, you got to remember that your partner, or other people for that matter, don't have telepathy. So you can't be mad at them for doing something that you didn't necessarily tell them to do, or at least explain to how you want it done. You kind of got to talk about it. That requires some communication skills. And, you know, to the point where it's like, hey, can you move that couch over there? Or, hey, I like to get kissed on my neck. Whatever. You just have to have that conversation. Because if you're not doing that, you're just going to be unhappy. Like, some dudes like it some way. Some dudes like it other way. Some dudes like to be pegged. I mean, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. You know, nobody's going to be mad about that except for y'all two. But, so all I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, communicate to your partners, you know, about what you want and what you expect. Because you can't assume stuff, because when you start assuming stuff, you're probably not going to get what you want. You're probably going to get something completely different from what you want. And then you'll be pissed off because they didn't give you what you wanted. So all I'm saying is, if you want something, you got to fucking ask for it. And if you can't do that, then you don't want it bad enough. So that being said, Like, thank everybody for joining us on this episode of 5 Minute Warning today. Thank you to AG. Thank you to Mo B. Thank you to those who are listening and who will be listening to it on the podcast. And yes, Black Morticia Addams, sometimes you got to slip it right in there. And of course, you know, we're here every Sunday from 9 to 10 Eastern Standard Time until we feel like getting off. And thank you once again for listening to the podcast. Always check us out. It comes out usually on the weekend. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about it. You know, tell your friends, tell your enemies, just tell somebody about us. Once again, next Sunday, Eastern Standard Time, you can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Twitch. You can catch us on my Facebook page if you know me. But look, just be here with us. It's good stuff. We're glad to have you. So with that being said, you know, we're going to do it like we always do it. Peace, love, hair grease, soul, and deuces.
Email us at 5minutewarning19@gmail.com. And also leave comments on Facebook and Twitch. Search 5 Minute Warning. Contact us on Twitter at AG_FMW podcast, at Newsman25, at FMW 2019. Contact us on Instagram, Moby 5 Minute Warning, AG_5 Minute Warning, Newsman25. You can listen to the podcast at Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of
The 5 Minute Warning.
I need y'all to go back to them checks that we did when we were kids, where it was like, your mom's so fat, she sat on the rainbow and Skittles popped out. Because these new checks that y'all got me self-conscious, okay? Because I never thought my back was big until this group of kids came out talking about Big Back Summer and Bald-Headed Roach. You telling me my outfit needs a jump scare warning? I need to go back to them jokes when I was a kid. Because these got my self-esteem. I have to go to therapy.
You want to go back to Yo Mama jokes?
I need the Yo Mama jokes because at least they was talking about somebody else.
No, leave Christine out of this. We're not doing the Yo Mama jokes.
Well, I ain't never thought my back was big, but every day I wake up and I want to eat something. I'm like, your back getting bigger.